Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today with a look at the WrestleMania 32 Blu-ray. For those people, honestly, that are thinking, why is Stevie Breach reviewing the WrestleMania 32 Blu-ray a year later? Because I think, honestly, this is the first time that I'm really ready to talk about this and have a clear state of mind about WrestleMania 32 and try to think about what the legacy of it will be. It was built up as possibly one of the biggest WrestleManias that we were ever going to see. I can remember making videos back in 2010 when people would send in Q&A questions about where I thought future WrestleManias would be. And one of the places that I always would say was AT&T Stadium, because that is the number one stadium in North America where the Cowboys play. I know it hurts to say, Jerry World, but Cowboy Stadium is something that honestly every football fan wants to see their team play in. I knew nothing about Dallas. I knew nothing about Arlington. I knew that honestly I wanted to be in Jerry World to see what was going down inside of there. And I can remember going to SummerSlam 2010. Being a huge Sacramento Kings fan. By that time, the Sacramento Kings were not what they once were. But, saying to myself as I was about to enter in Staples Center, I honestly thought the first time I would come to Staples Center would be to see a Kings versus Lakers game and try to relive that 2002 magic. But I was there to see wrestling. Much like when I went to Jerry World, I saw WrestleMania 32. Even though honestly it wasn't what I thought WrestleMania was going to be. When people were saying it was going to be the largest WrestleMania of all time, I had high hopes, and I honestly was really excited to see Triple H wrestle for the WWE Championship against Roman Reigns, coming in as champion, to see your favorite guy, even though you know he's going to lose, and so on, pass the torch. It's a great moment to have. I mean, if I would give everything to be able to see Hulk Hogan wrestle one last time. I know that honestly, I saw his matches in TNA. They weren't great. I can honestly tell you that I don't really remember his last match in WWE. I remember the WrestleMania 19 match against Vince, and that's possibly what I always think of as his last good match. But I know that he wrestled after that as Captain America and stupid stuff like that. But, well, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, you only get to see your guy go out one last time, and to be able to see him go out that way was a great way. I had high hopes for Brock versus Ambrose. I really thought Ambrose was going to beat him, and then Ambrose would be the number one contender to Roman Reigns. And I thought that would be a real big kick in the pants for WWE. Shane versus Undertaker involved in the Hell in a Cell. I didn't know what to say about that match other than holy shit. I knew that Shane coming back was a big moment. Every time Undertaker wrestles at WrestleMania, it leads to something big. I know that I'd seen Hell in the Cell matches in the past, but to see one at WrestleMania, I didn't know that they were going to be living up to Undertaker Hell in the Cell WrestleMania moments of the past of WrestleMania 15. I said this in a video last week, and somebody said I was crazy, but I honestly think that a lot of people thought that match was shits. And somebody told me that most people think of that as the best match on the show. The girls sort of reshaping the Divas Revolution, that was huge, and it sort of changed the history of time. One of the reasons why I have this Blu-ray, even though it's all on the network, basically is WWE Shop is running a sale. I got this for $5, and even though I just took the plastic off to make this video, I think it's pretty cool to have this on my shelf, especially with it being a show that I was at. I know that they came out with a what do they call those special editions? The tins? I don't know, so I'm moving on. Came out at Best Buy. I didn't get one of those. I just have the normal Blu-ray, so it is what it is. Steel box, that's what they call those damn things. I didn't take the sticker off. Oh, there you go. We're good. The inside doesn't really have a whole bunch. I can remember back to WrestleMania 26 when they gave us the third bonus disc, and they gave you the Raw and SmackDown go-home shows. Possibly now most people would want the shows after WrestleMania, but they don't give us those anymore. But if you wait long enough, they're on the network. I'm sure the shows that I'm looking for are going to be on there. But Here's your slipcover. Looks like most of WrestleMania is all on the first disc, and then just your main event is on the second one. That's kind of a buzz killer to me. I would honestly watch it on the network anyways, but it comes with your Hall of Fame. One of the big things I think about, DVDs and Blu-rays losing their place in WWE is the fact that they don't put more exclusives on there, especially for the people who buy the Blu-ray. So much stuff happens WrestleMania weekend with access and Q&As and podcasts. They could easily put a whole bunch of stuff on there that would make people want to go to WrestleMania next year just by showing how much stuff is behind the scenes. I know that the WWE 24s, where they show the week of WrestleMania, they follow around certain wrestlers, is a good look into that, but this right here is a good driving tool. You know how many people will pick up this Blu-ray and just to pick it up? Honestly, WrestleMania 20 on DVD is what got me back into wrestling. I bought it for the bonus features. I wasn't even watching wrestling at the time, and I bought it. I watched the features, and then I just said, hey, why don't I just check out the show and see what's going on? And that's what made me tune in, and I got back in right before WrestleMania 21, was able to see Batista versus Triple H, and that was able to get me hooked. I missed all of Evolution, which is a bummer to me, but yeah. There's Roman. There's The Rock, John Cena. They had their big moment. Stone Cold Steve Austin came back. Charlotte won the championship. Undertaker versus Shane. Do they even put the pre-show matches onto here? Let me see. It's probably easier to read it off of here. But disc 1. Wow. They don't even put the pre-show on here. Or they're down here. Do I have to go to Summer Special? Maybe these are the bonuses on the first one. So, honestly, when it comes down to it, Ryback versus Kalisto, the Total Divas versus Bad and Blondie, and the Usos versus the Dudley Boys. When I watch this match, that'll be the first time I ever see those matches because I didn't get into the arena until I might have seen the Chicks sing. I honestly don't remember. I do remember seeing the entrances to the Intercontinental Championship, and I think I saw some pyro stuff blow up. But I was pissed. I was really pissed, and I honestly, if people think that I'm still bitching about it, I deserve to be pissed. Even though I didn't pay for the pre-show, I paid for WrestleMania. If they're gonna have matches and they're gonna have the stadium, you gotta let people in the stadium. This match was won by Zack Ryder. That was a real big surprise. Him losing the championship the next night on Raw to The Miz was an even more big surprise. People say that this was sort of like a crowning achievement to somebody who'd been in WWE for so long and was able to reinvent themselves and go down to NXT and help out with Mojo Rawley and not really bitch and moan and groan and complain about doing the NXT stuff, even though he's such a veteran and been around since I think WrestleMania 24. I don't know. If somebody's going to win the title at WrestleMania, even if it's the Intercontinental title, let them hold it for a few good minutes. AJ versus Jericho was a really good match. Jericho getting the win really did surprise me, but AJ becoming the number one contender to take on Roman Reigns, the next two pay-per-views made up for it. Then we got the New Day against the League of Nations. Of course, that is where the League of Nations got the win and made the call out. Austin, Michaels, and McFoley came out to fight those fools. Ambrose versus Lesnar was a dud. Nothing really there. Charlotte won the three-way against Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks. Awesome match. Sasha Banks with the shout-out to Eddie Guerrero. Hell in the Cell match, Shane versus Taker really didn't do it for me. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, the guy who won it, Baron Corbin, I didn't even know he was in the match until he was in the Final Four. Didn't really do a whole bunch for me. The Rock and had his good 30-minute deal. Ended up being The Rock versus Eric Rowan, and then John Cena came down to help fight off the Wyatts. And then Triple H versus Roman Reigns World Heavyweight Championship match. Nothing much you can say more about that, as that, they had a match, it was long, Roman won it, and people booed him, and that was go home to WrestleMania. So this is your look back at WrestleMania 32 a year later. Let's see what pictures they put in here. I think that's just the crowd. I know I can find myself on the WrestleMania 27 one because of how bright my orange hat was, but I'll have to see if I can find myself in there. WrestleMania 32. It definitely was an experience. It just wasn't the best experience. I can remember, walking out of Jerry World and walking back to the bus, flipping at the bird, saying, "Fuck you, Cowboys," and "Fuck you, Jerry Jones."